Hey everyone, I'm back again, and today I am very grateful to have you guys tuning in as usual to today's message. And today is one that I want to kind of talk about this emotion of anger. And I really want to dive into the wisdom of an incredible soul who lived a long time before us. And I want to really dive into his work, but I want to apply it to some incredible kind of realizations that, I've had in my own life. And also I've just had an amazing session with one of my beautiful clients, and they just inspire me with the work that they're doing and have had the courage to really face and confront in their lives. So I want to kind of dive into that one with you guys as well. But basically, this is for you, this particular message. If you have been carrying around maybe a bit of anger, maybe a bit of resentment, maybe there is, particular people or situations or circumstances or, just things from the past that maybe if you're really honest with yourself, you just haven't really navigated in a healthy way, and it's still kind of that anchor for you to the past. This is going to be a really good one for you to tune into as well. So as usual, I would love for you to join in the conversation as we go through this and dive into the comments with me. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, and also share with me your thoughts as we go through today's topic. So, and particularly if you want to share your personal experience, that is always a good thing to do in these particular conversations that we're having. And I always appreciate you guys joining in the conversation and co-creating this space. But today is gonna get you guys really thinking and really getting empowered, right? Because I want you to start, before I introduce today's topic, I want you to think about anger as having, because a lot of us can put it in this negative light, right? Like anger is a bad emotion. But actually, I want you to think about anger as having a really positive purpose for your growth and your potential. And that powerful, empowered purpose that it has is to empower you in places where you feel disempowered. And I can see Joshua in the house, and AJ and JR. Great to have you guys all tuning in. JR, you're from the Philippines. That's so cool. I love when you guys are all over the place. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about the fact that those who are at war with others are not at peace with themselves. This is a good one for all of us who want to take back the power in our lives, right? So this particular topic in the topic for today that I just shared with you is actually from, they weren't my words. I wish they were. They're so amazing and they hit straight to the heart, but they're the words of William Hazlitt, who was an English philosopher back in the 1800s. All right. So basically, let's get into it. So I want to depict what we're talking about. To be at war with others is to be trapped in our resistance to our differences, to maybe what is. There's a resistance instead of an acceptance, right? And there's often coupled with an anger or a resentment in place of that. And I want us to think about anger as being an energy, right? All energy, as we know, all emotions, as we know, are energy in motion, right? They're an energy source. And basically, anger, I like to view it this way. Anger is the energy that you direct towards that which you do not want. Okay, think about it that way for a minute. You've got a lot of energy in the form of anger, and it's being projected towards what it is that you don't want, right? Like you're angry about something, it's generating this level of energy. And I want you to think about, like, we've only got so much energy. This is the way I like to think about it. And we can choose to do what we wish to do with that energy. Sometimes anger serves, like I said, the positive purpose behind anger is to re-empower us in places where we feel disempowered, right? So you can keep that in mind. But if you've got all this angry energy, and you're directing it towards that which you don't want, right? That's only going to get you focusing more on what you don't want. unless you have a strategy at play that doesn't dissociate from what's not right, but actually can look at it objectively, the situation or the circumstance or the person or the behavior or whatever it is, and glean wisdom and understanding and clarity about who you are, what you stand for, what you stand against, and take that forward and channel that energy in a better light. So here's how I'm talking into it today, based on William Hazlitt's words of those who are at war with others are not at peace within themselves, right? They're channeling all their energy and anger towards what they don't want. And if you want to live an empowered life, you just recognize when you get angry and you go, I'm feeling disempowered in my life in this area. How can I go about getting clarity and direction and channeling that energy in a direction that actually moves me towards what I want, not just stand against what I don't want? And so the pathway to do that, I believe, is through acceptance. So acceptance of what is or what's been is the process by which you're going to get your energy back, right? Instead of having this angry energy, being at war with what has been or with others, right? And channeling it towards, what you don't want. Instead, you process through acceptance, which is the process by which you're getting your energy back. You're not giving your energy away toward that which you do not want. You're going into a higher level of awareness, of looking at it and going, all right, I don't want that. It's clear, right? That's something I don't want. I feel disempowered, but I'm not going to continue to give my energy and my power away here. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to accept what is and what has been, not condoning poor behavior or poor treatment or whatever gets connected to that. Not making it okay, but actually going, I'm, going to channel this energy in a way that's going to actually move me forward to regain my power through acceptance of what is, what's been, not trying to control or change something that cannot be changed, right? And instead, I'm going to go through that process, and by doing so, I'm actually going to transform that anger into a creative fuel source that I can now direct towards that which I do want. Okay, so think about it this way. So I want to use myself as an example as per usual, right? And when somebody triggers me, try this on for size in your own life. Think about somebody maybe that triggers you in your own life, or something that's happened that you feel an angry charge toward, right? You kind of feel like you're at war with it, war with others or a circumstance or what's been. And when something or someone triggers me, my first alert is to realize that I'm giving my power away in a direction that I don't want. It's giving me clarity over that which I do not want, right? So the first step is to not judge myself for being angry or triggered or whatever, right? I need to have an acknowledgement of my true, authentic expression and what's going on for me as a result of a circumstance or a person or whatever is triggering me. First step, I've got to acknowledge it, right? It's not about dissociating from it. It's about owning it and being kind and compassionate with yourself and honoring how you experience the world, right? Then, through that acknowledgement of it, I then let it become my teacher, right? I'm like, okay, what's it here to alert me? How am I feeling disempowered? What is it? How is it helping me be more clear on what I stand for as a human being and what I stand against, right? Then I want to accept what is or what has been, right? Because I can't change it. I release my need to control or change, right? That's the acceptance of what is. And then from that place, I let a new level of clarity over what I do and don't want to kind of emerge, right? The wisdom to kind of come forward. Not prematurely, like I have to accept and acknowledge and honor my emotional states. Then I have to then allow for the acceptance piece to come at play and my dropping of my need to control or change so that I can then get the clarity over, my direction forward. And by doing so and going through a process like this, I rechannel and redirect all that energy that is behind anger into a creative fuel source towards my new sense of clarity over that which I do want. So there's a very empowered process that I just outlined for you guys just then that will put you back in the driver's seat in your life, and to not judge or condemn the natural human emotion of anger or all other energies that go on within you, right? And for just being a human being. And instead of judging it and getting stuck in it and being at war with others and not at peace with the self, right? Instead of that process that doesn't get us anywhere, and we've known for centuries, right? Now, as from the beautiful words from William Hazlitt, I now can have a process of being more intelligent about what I want to do with my life, how I want to operate in my life, and the desire to be at peace within myself. And to not just give away all my power through anger, but instead let that anger alert me to my own sense of disempowerment, go through the steps that I just outlined for you guys then, so that I can ultimately rechannel that energy into a direction that I actually want. Remembering that anger is, energy being directed towards that which we don't want. And remember, you get what you focus on. Do you want to continue to be at war and getting angry and angrier about things that you can't change and this resistance to what is? Or do you want to be emotionally intelligent? Do you want to be able to rechannel that kind of energy into a creative fuel source for you to be free, for you to create what you actually do want in this life, right? And to glean the wisdom from circumstances that can no longer be changed or controlled, so that you can be free to move in a direction that you're consciously choosing rather than unconsciously reacting to. All right. So I hope me sharing this with you guys is of value, and particularly for you guys out there who are maybe holding on to some resentment or some anger or some circumstances from your past. And like I said, I felt inspired to deliver this particular message for you guys today because I've just spent a couple of hours with a client going through and confronting a very challenging upbringing that they'd had. Right? And confronting the people in that upbringing and the circumstances at large that created a lot of anger and rage in this person. And to watch them go through these processes and actually overcome them and actually be able to confront it and actually take their power back and rechannel that towards what they actually want, rather than resisting and pushing against that which they don't want or can't or previously couldn't accept from their past. This is such an empowered pathway to take instead, right? And like William Hazlitt said, those who are at war with others are not at peace with themselves, right? Make it way more important to be at peace within yourself than to be at war with others, so that you can go about directing all that energy towards that which you actually want, not towards all the stuff that you don't want, that you can't change, that you're in resistance to. Okay, it's such an empowered pathway if you utilize your anger in this particular system that I've just outlined for you guys. So I hope you'll apply it. I hope that it serves you. And if there's anybody in your life whom you can see is trapped in the past, is resistant and angry and resentful towards people or circumstances, and you feel this message could support them, I invite you to share it with them, and definitely want to check in with you guys. So make sure you're dropping me some comments. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, and if you've got any questions or words of wisdom, or you just want to say hi. I always love getting to connect with you guys. So let me jump in and check in with you guys now. And like I said earlier, I've got Joshua here, and AJ, hello to you, and JR from the Philippines, and Vanessa's here, great, and Nikki, hello to you, and Nini, I feel very happy when I watch this video. I'm grateful to hear that, and you're tuning in from Vietnam. awesome. I hope you're doing amazingly well there. I absolutely love Vietnam. It's one of my favorite countries that I've ever been to. In particular, Hoi An was one of my favorite places there. It's so beautiful and I love the people and the food and everything. So love that you're tuning in, Nini. And Don's here as well. And Zena, love this. I needed to hear this. I'm so grateful that this message got in front of you as you required it, beautiful soul. And thanks so much for showing up. And Daryl, explain your anger instead of expressing it, and you will find solutions instead of arguments. Author unknown. Oh my gosh, Daryl, that is such an awesome quote. You're always sharing. You're like the quote machine. I love it when you show up and you share these amazing quotes, and it's so in alignment with what we're expressing today. So thank you so much, my friend. And Jerry's back. It's been a while since I've got to see you. So good to see you from Quebec City, Canada. Grateful to catch you live as usual. Thank you, my friend. And Ram's here as well. And Mohammed watching from NC. I love it. And Bill's in the house. Always good to see you, my friend. And JR, learned a lot. Thank you, Vanessa. God bless America from the Philippines. I love it. Grateful that you are learning a lot in today's message, and always good to see you. And Vanessa, thank you for the reminder. Very true. Yeah, love that this resonated with you, beautiful. It's a good one because, you know, I see so many people who get in this state of anger, and it makes us feel empowered, right? Because that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to wake us up to an area where we're disempowered. That's our natural response. We get angry. But then people waste it. They waste all that energy directed towards things they can't change and they can't control, and things that they're just, resisting, right? Instead of having an intelligent system like I just outlined to you guys to rechannel and redirect all that powerful energy into a way that will get you focused on what you actually want, not just resisting that which you don't want, all right? So love that this was a good reminder for you, Vanessa. Awesome. And Bill, don't turn over your happiness to anyone. Why give them that power? Absolutely. You know, and it's another good quote is, you know, resentment is like drinking the poison and expecting your enemy to die, right? We know from Nelson Mandela. Probably butchered that. I think I got that right. But you guys get the point, you know. And there was another one I heard Joe Rogan speak into in a podcast I was listening to today. And it was something like anger is the acid that does more damage to the vessel that carries it than the thing that it pours itself on, you know. So I'm butchering that one as well, but there's so many great words of wisdom around this topic that we're talking in, and I think it's just really a powerful way of looking at anger. We don't want to judge ourselves for it, right? We're not going to get angry at ourselves for being angry. We need to view anger as the powerful emotion that it is. Its purpose to re-empower us, to shine light on the areas of our life where we're feeling disempowered, and to invite us into higher levels of emotional intelligence to move forward once we have acknowledged and honored our true human experience and why that's occurring. And, you know, like Daryl's quote mentioned, you know, instead of expressing it, it's, you know, explain what's going on, find the understanding behind it. So I love that. And yes, so well put, Bill, as usual. Always appreciate you sharing your thoughts here and contributing to these conversations. And JR, God bless Australia. Thank you so much, beautiful soul. Good to have you here and your kindness. And Zena, anger is remembered pain. Ooh, love what you shared tonight. I needed it. Release the need to control or change. I love it. I can sense your empowerment already. And that's a really good one as well. You know, anger is remembered pain. I'd think of that as that resentment, right? Because resentment is something you're like, just keep bringing up and repeating. Any emotion that we repeat, you know, is remembered, right? And so if we know, and the science proves this, that even the biggest, strongest energy charge of human emotion, let's call it rage, If somebody is allowed to fully feel through that rage from the beginning to the end without judgment or needing to change it, it only takes a maximum of 8 minutes to fully feel through the full spectrum of that emotion. So any repeated emotion that we find ourselves getting trapped in is really, that remembered pain or that repressed pain or that self-judged emotion, right? We judge ourselves for feeling it, so we repress it and resist it, and it just keeps recycling, right? So just know and be compassionate with your humanness of emotions being part of your experience of the world, and let them appear and move through them in emotionally intelligent ways. Know that they'll only take a few minutes to fully feel through if you actually give yourself permission to not judge yourself and feel through it, so that you can rechannel that energy in more empowered directions like we're talking about today. So awesome share there, Zena. Thanks for being on the journey. And Mohammed, you are talking about a great topic. I'm grateful that this resonated with you, my friend. And Bill, shine on, go get 'em. Likewise, I love it. So hope today's message has resonated, and in the beautiful words of William Hazlitt, those who are at war with others are not at peace with themselves. Don't be one of those people. Notice when you're at war with others. Do this process that I just shared with you. Empower yourself, rechannel and redirect that energy in a direction you actually do want rather than one you don't. And Jerry, anger will keep you in a state of procrastination and negative energy. If you keep on resisting it, right? And you want to stay stuck in that energy rather than rechannel it. Absolutely, my friend. And Zena, that's awesome. Thanks. I'm grateful to hear that, my friend. So that's it from me today. You guys know what I'm going to suggest you do. Instead of tell you what to do, I hate when I say I tell you what to do, because I myself don't like being told what to do, right? So don't want to tell anybody else what to do. But I do want to encourage you and inspire you to go out there and live authentically. Be true to who you are. Don't dull down, don't hide away, right? Just be true, be authentic. Also, go out there and love deeply. Don't go staying stuck on the surface, right? In fear. Get vulnerable, get intimate, go deep, right? Share with people who you genuinely are and be fascinated to dive into the depths of who they are. And then finally, go out there and contribute meaningfully. Be purposeful with your life. Know what it is that is meaningful and moving to you. Grow yourself in that direction and contribute to others by helping them, grow themselves in that most meaningful direction that you hold for yourself. All right, that is my message for each and every one of you guys. As usual, I just want to thank you for coming and joining me today and contributing to today's message and conversation, for sharing your words of wisdom and your experiences so openly. You are so appreciated, and I will absolutely look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So much love to you all, and I'll see you then.